Vocabulary Virtuoso from the Critical Thinking Company. Hi, everyone. I'm Manisha, the founder of Modulo. And there are a lot of reviews about Vocabulary Virtuoso online, but I wanted to do a quick overview for those of you who are looking for a high quality vocabulary program for your children. It's designed for grades 2nd through 12th. It is aligned with academic programs taught in schools. The Critical Thinking Company is a fantastic screen-free or screen-optional program. They do have ebooks, printable ebooks, but essentially it's screen-free. It's a program that encourages children to think deeply. I often recommend it for children who are gifted or accelerated, but really any family wants to go deep with their kids. If their kids do well with workbooks and are deep thinkers, I think this is really fantastic choice. It's not as project-based or multi-sensory as other programs, but it's just a stellar program that I would have loved to use as a child. And they're particularly strong in language arts. So their Vocabulary Virtuoso program, there are books available for 2nd through 12th grade. And obviously, if your kid is an early reader, you can get started before that. And grade is not necessarily correlate with ability, so find the one that works for you. And they have a couple different books for different age levels, 2nd through 3rd, 4th through 5th, 6th through 8th, and then they have their PSAT, SAT books for grades 8 through 12. So those are really fantastic ones if you do want to prep your child for the SAT, especially if you're a homeschooler. Having these tests to give colleges a general sense of where they are with their language arts skills can be really helpful because, as you know, homeschool grades don't really mean anything to anyone. So we do have to prep our homeschoolers for those tests. And I'll just say this as an aside, if you're kind of trying to help your children learn this testing framework and just you don't have to send your kid to college, but if they want that option available to them, just remember to approach it as a game. You don't want your child to see these tests as a measure of their ability, of their intellectual capacity, because tests are not that. We all know that these tests are discriminating often against certain groups because of the way that they're created. Not everybody really does necessarily as well in a testing framework, and that's not necessarily a reflection on their talent or potential. But as a tutor, I always just said, approach these tests as a game. It's always good to be able to understand systems, and taking tests is just about cracking a system. Okay, that was totally distraction from this curriculum. So I love vocabulary. Vocabulary is so fun. These books are, I would say just more on the traditional side. They have different exercises that you can do, fill in the blank sentences. They do use those Greek and Latin roots to teach kids different skills. Every book has about 150, 160 vocabulary words. So, it can be good sometimes to do some type of book where it can be good to use an app if your kids enjoy apps, but if you don't want to get into all that screen stuff, I think this is just a really good place to start. I'll just give you, I think we can kind of take a look inside here. This is what the 2nd grade book looks like. So as you can see, each lesson has different vocabulary lists, words, pronunciation. Might be also fun if you're competing in the spelling bee. Having that mix of vocabulary and spelling is so important for that. I used to love spelling bees, so if your kid is into that. And so you can just see there's multiple choice options. I always encourage kids to guess before they look at the multiple choice because especially if you have a creative thinker, it can get kind of distracting. But basically, this is just a super solid, renowned, respected vocabulary program. I just think it's really the best one out there for a gifted child, especially if you're looking for a screen-free option. And really anyone can use it as long as you start at the right level. Don't worry about if your child has, if you start at the wrong grade level, because it feels too hard. If it feels too hard, go a grade below. Try to find that level where it feels like it's the right balance, where it's not too easy and not too hard. And if it'll help give your child a little confidence to start a little easy, that's a great place to begin. Please, please don't force your child to do something harder that's too hard for them because they can lose a taste in the subject altogether. But yeah, find the one that feels good. Play around with this, maybe even try a few exercises before you get started to see if this is the right fit for you. And yeah, this is just a really great resource, and I hope you enjoy it.